What's up guys? Today we're going to be talking about the essential clubs that a beginner needs to start out in the game of golf, and diving straight into it with the top of the bag, and this is the driver. Now most people will think that this club is going to be essential, but it's certainly not, because when you get onto the tee with the driver as a beginner, this one has the longest shaft, which means if there's problems in your swing, we've got a big chance of things going wrong, and that usually ends up in the slice. And since the ball is going further, it's going to veer further off course. Next thing you're out of bounds, you're dropping a ball and you've got your third shot. So instead of using the driver, you're probably going to use a tree wood, a tree hybrid, or a tree iron. And that's basically just going to come down to you practicing with each of those clubs and seeing which one you can hit consistently onto the fairway. And now moving to the first club that is essential, and that is going to be one of the most neglected clubs in the bag when it comes to practice, and that's the putter. Half of your shots are going to be with the putter, and people go to the driving range and they hit the driver all day long. So you want to be spending time practicing with your putter, certainly an essential club. Now you can start out with a beginner set, but over time you really want to be upgrading to a nice putter that you feel comfortable with. You want to get a nice smooth stroke. Half your strokes are going to be with the putter, so it's certainly an essential club. So moving back to the tree wood, and when I was a beginner not too long ago, I used the tree wood off the tee every time, and I still will for long par trees. You can also use this one off the fairway, but a lot of people are going to find that they can't hit the tree wood properly. So I'd say it is an essential club unless you have difficulty hitting it consistently. And if you can't hit the tree wood, I would go with the tree hybrid. This could be very good off the tee. I still use it for par trees off the tee, and I love hitting it off the fairway because it's easy to get into the air and you get good distance on it. So if you struggle with your irons, then the tree hybrid is going to be an essential club. And if you are struggling with your irons, as I said, you might want to get the 5 hybrid as well. And if you hit your woods well, you'll probably want to carry a 5 wood as well, but not essential. So next up, we've got the 5 iron. It's going to be in most bags, but is it essential? No, it's not, because if you struggle to hit your irons and you hit your hybrids well, you're probably better off replacing your longer irons with those hybrids. Now if you do hit your irons well, the 5 iron is going to be an essential club. And if you do hit your irons well and don't hit your woods or hybrids well, then you might want to use a tree iron or a driving iron off the tee as well. So moving on, 7 iron here. It's not an essential club. Some people might swap it out for a hybrid, but I'd say 95% of golfers are going to use this as an essential club. It's got a nice bit of loft, so it's going to be easy to get that ball in the air, and for your approaches between 110 to about 150 yards depending on your swing speed, the 7 iron is going to get good stopping power and a nice high ball flight. So your 9 iron is probably going to be an essential club, and for distances just outside of wedge range, so that might be 110 to 120 yards. And you want to get yourself a good 9 iron. You want to lean back, have the ball slightly towards the back foot, and you just want to get plenty of height on that ball. And as well, that's going to have good stopping power, and it's going to be great around the greens. But it's also important that you go to somewhere like Top Golf, or you go to somewhere with a launch monitor in the driving range, and just write down all your distances with each club, because that's going to really help you to know what club to use in each situation. And if you're using a golf watch or a rangefinder, you can see your distance to the green and you can select the right club accordingly. Moving on to wedges. Now this is the pitching wedge, and this is probably the second most important club in the bag, and everyone's going to use it. You're going to use this for chipping around the greens, so you're not going to want to use a sand wedge for that, because you're probably going to pin the ball because there's just too much loft, and the ball's going to fly along the ground, out the back of the green, into the bunkers or into the water or whatever is there. And it's going to be great as well for the distances for like 40 to 100 yards, where you just want to have maybe like a half swing get the ball in the air and get it to stop on the green. So the pitching wedge, in my book, is probably the second most important club and definitely essential. And then last but not least, we got the sand wedge. This is essential, obviously, for when you end up in the bunkers, but that's the only time I'm going to use my sand wedge. I'm not going to use it around the greens like some people would, because I'm just going to pin it with this part of the club. It's going off the back of the green, and next thing you're down two or three strokes. So that's it. Driver not essential. Probably starting out you want to use a tree wood off the tee. If that's not working, you need to use a tree hybrid or a tree iron. You need to basically get the ball 150 yards down the middle of the fairway, and then you've got an approach shot. You can use a hybrid, you can use a wood, or you can use one of your irons to get onto the green. So that's the essential clubs that you need. The only essential ones really will be the tree wood, the tree hybrid, the pitching wedge, the sand wedge, and the putter. And the rest are interchangeable. If you like hybrids, carry a lot of hybrids. If you like woods, carry more woods. And if you like irons, you can carry a full set of irons. So we hope you enjoyed that video. If you like the content, don't forget to subscribe.